तो गाइस आज हम रिएक्शन करने वाले एक और नए वीडियो पे और द विलन रिवील्ड एंड अ न्यू गेम पॉपी प्ले टाइम चैप्टर 5 अपडेट। चैप्टर 5 को नए विलन के बारे में बात होने वाली है और हम देख रहे हैं एक नए भाई साहब के चैनल पर टेरिफाइड टी। तो गाइस लेट्स सी भाई क्या रिवील होने वाला है। लेट्स सी भाई, लेट्स गो।
Who the main villain is going to be, as well as a potential new game within the Poppy franchise. I have yet to talk about Chapter 5 because I wanted to wait for real information, and now we have it. So let's talk about these new discoveries and see if we can't figure out what exactly is going on with Chapter 5. Okay, so if you're active at all on Twitter within the Poppy Playtime community, I
टेरेंस, वो टेरेंस नाम है भाई का।
would recommend following me. But there has also been a few new trademark updates going around for Mob.
ट्रेडमार्क पॉपी प्ले पार्क। फाइनली प्ले पार्क आ चुका है गाइस ट्रेडमार्क में। नाइस, इसी का वेट कर रहा था भाई। प्ले पार्क मैं बहुत टाइम से वेट कर रहा हूँ। प्ले पार्क, और प्ले पार्क में मिलेगा हमें क्लाउन। अभी तक का सबसे तगड़ा विलन लगने वाला है मेरे को ये, क्योंकि क्लाउन में आज तक जितनी भी गेम्स में देखा हूँ ना, कभी भी मैं इससे वो नहीं किया, हमेशा वर्थ इट रहता है। Let's go.
Entertainment. The first thing I want to talk about is a trademark for Poppy Play Park. It looks like it's going to be a brand new game within the Poppy universe. As it even says, it's a downloadable computer game software. Now, the developers have teased a new game that they've been working on alongside Poppy Playtime.
क्या ये चैप्टर 5 का ही होना चाहिए मेरे अकॉर्डिंग।
At first, I thought it would be something completely different, but I guess, like I said, it's going to be within the Poppy universe, which is actually really cool. This will obviously be a spin-off game to expand on the already vast world of Poppy Playtime. That means so much more lore, and I'm here for it. As to what exactly it's going to be, well, as of right now, we don't really have much info about it besides its name, Poppy's Play Park. However, there was one poster in Chapter 3 that did
पोस्टर
in
तो
fact
मैंने भी
tease
देखा
a
था।
new location.
ये रहा भाई, ये वाला पोस्टर जो चैप्टर 5 में रिवील होने वाला है। Treat yourself at Playtime's new park. Elliot Ludwig's presents.
A poster that hinted at a Poppy theme park. It reads, "Treat yourself at Elliot Ludwig presents Playtime's new park." So I think it's safe to assume that this park is where the new game is going to take place. And this park is called Poppy's Play Park. I always knew in Chapter 3 that this poster was somehow going to be important, and turns out it was a teaser for their upcoming game. That being said, what will the plot be for this game? Well, I think it's going to be dark. Think about how fun and bright amusement parks are. This is a perfect opportunity for Mob Entertainment to turn that into a nightmare. We can assume all the toy prizes and whatnot are toys made by Playtime Co. But more importantly, some of the attractions within the park could be ran by the bigger body toys. I mean, think about it. They use the bigger bodies to work inside the factory, so why not have them work at the park? I think someone, maybe a kid, will wander inside the abandoned park only to find that it is still very much alive, and they will have to escape. Something like that. This begs the question of, was this park open to the public or not? Assuming it wasn't, I could see the toys working here, operating the rides and the games. That could be deadly fun if a bigger body traps you on a roller coaster. If somehow used for the attractions, if that makes sense. Think of it as circus animals, except instead of animals, it's giant living toys. Now that would be interesting. Killer toys inside a massive amusement park could make for some very thrilling yet chilling gameplay. But all of that is just me speculating. I could be completely wrong. I have seen people suggest that it's going to be a 2D game, which would kind of be cool, but I would much rather it be a full-on 3D game like Poppy Playtime. However, even if it is 2D, it would still be cool nonetheless. Now, let's talk about the other new trademark, that being prototype. Not the prototype, just
इसी का तो इंतजार है भाई। प्रोटोटाइप, प्लास्टिक कैरेक्टर टॉय, प्लश टॉय, टॉयज एक्शन फिगर,
prototype. It was trademarked for plastic character toys, plush toys, toy action figures, and you get the point. So this trademark is for a plush, which comes at
ये प्लश ही क्या है? ये प्लश टॉय के लिए लिया है। अबे भाई नाइस।
no surprise. I think we
मतलब इसका भी प्रोटोटाइप का प्लश आने वाला है।
We can all agree that Mob was going to make a prototype plush as soon as they can. They even released and marketed the Yarnby plush before Chapter 4 was even out. This could hint that we might be getting a prototype plush before Chapter 5 even releases, which also means we might see what he looks like before the chapter. But I would much rather them wait to reveal what he looks like in the actual game. Who knows what they'll do. Regardless, plush, this does mean that the prototype will in fact be in Chapter 5. I've seen people suggest that he would be saved for Chapter 6. However, I think Chapter 5 is going to be the last chapter. This makes the most sense to me, as I think a 6th chapter would just drag out the story. At this point, all that's left for a significant location is the main labs. Keep in mind, we did witness the secondary labs, but the main labs is where the prototype resides. Well, him and the rest of the still alive orphans. So I feel comfortable saying that the prototype is going to be the main villain of Chapter 5, which was obvious. But this trademark confirms that he at least is going to be in the chapter. So what does this mean for Chapter 5? Well, so far, nothing really changes. Yet. Every time there's a new Poppy Playtime chapter, the first thing people want to know is who the antagonist is. And like I just said, it's probably going to be the prototype. Chapters 1 through 3 had one main villain, an enemy the plot was centered around. Chapter 1 was Huggy, Chapter 2 was Mommy Longlegs, and Chapter 3 was Catnap. There were a few one-off characters, but you get the point. This allowed for a linear, cohesive story. There is an enemy and we battle them at the end. Some might say that's boring, but it allows for strong storytelling. However, Chapter 4 introduced something different, a variety of main villains, Yarnaby, the Doctor, and Dowie. This was ambitious, but a little too much for one chapter in my opinion. Imagine a chapter solely centered around the Doctor. Think of
हाँ भाई, एक पूरा चैप्टर चाहिए भाई, चैप्टर ये डॉक्टर के अराउंड। इसकी बहुत खतरनाक हाइप बनाई थी भाई, और मिला क्या मेरे को गेम में? हलवा भाई। मेरे को डॉक्टर पियानोसॉरस, इन दोनों के लिए एक अलग गेम चाहिए भाई। ये लोग अलग लेवल पे है भाई। डॉक्टर इतना अच्छा नाम ले रखा है, बट विलन बनाने ढंग से बनाओ ना।
the lore we could have gotten. So many cool ideas that were lost behind other villains. I'm not saying the others were worse, I just wish each had been utilized more. What I'm getting at is Chapter 5 could do the same as 4 and reveal brand new characters as other villains. I mean, obviously they will introduce new faces, but it begs the question of will Chapter 5 be centered around the prototype or multiple enemies like Chapter 4? My hope is that they just focus on the prototype and his relationship with Poppy. If he is Elliot, give us that story. Fill in the blanks we have about him and Poppy. Show us that father and daughter drama. That is what I want out of Chapter 5. Tell us the prototype story. After all, he is the centerpiece around the Hour of Joy. But who knows what they'll do. After all, it is mob entertainment. Staying on the topic of characters, I'm assuming we will also get a closing arc to Huggy Wuggy. Since he's back, we can assume in Chapter 5 that he will be stalking or chasing us throughout the chapter, kind of like in Chapter 1. I do think he will eventually turn to the good side and help us defeat the prototype, or something like that. After all, the devs did say that Huggy is Darth Vader and the prototype is Palpatine.
ये क्या है? प्रोटोटाइप, Palpatine, Huggy, Darth Vader.
In Star Wars, Darth Vader eventually turns back to the good side and kills Palpatine. So I think that's what's going to happen here. But take that with a grain of salt. Poppy Playtime is far from Star Wars. I think and hope a lot of the loose ends will eventually be tied, like Kissy Missy's story and whatnot. I'm also hoping we finally get to see Boxy Boo. I really want to see him make an appearance in Chapter 5. He is probably my favorite character. But we can also expect a new experiment or two depending on where the chapter takes us. I don't think we'll be in the labs the entire time, so expect some new locations and whatnot. But I don't want to go too much into speculation because we don't have much information about the chapter yet. Once we do, expect videos of me yapping about it. Okay, so there are a few other pending trademarks, but
Harley Sir, Poppy Play Park, Prototype, Seaman Smoke.
They're all just merch and plush things. There is Miss Delight, Dr. Harley Sawyer, and Simon Smokes, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and whatnot. Nothing too crazy yet. I'm assuming more trademarks will
अबे तू टी-शर्ट के लिए लिए हुए हैं, प्लश के लिए लिए टी-शर्ट्स.
the closer
Wow.
we get to the chapter. That being said, it kinda sucks that things get spoiled in this way. I just wish they could hide these, but since they're out, I might as well talk about them. So once more Chapter 5 information is released, expect more videos of me talking about it. How do you guys feel about these new trademarks? Are you excited for Poppy's Play Park? Do you think the prototype will be the only villain in Chapter 5? I sure
भाई क्लाउन से रिलेटेड कुछ भी अपडेट नहीं आया भाई। क्लाउन के बारे में कुछ बात नहीं हुई है।
hope so. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like horror game content like this, please consider subscribing. Also, I have a Discord server, so if you want to chat with me, I recommend joining. And if you want to support the channel more, you can become a member. Don't forget to follow my Twitter at TerrifyT. Thanks for watching.
भाई क्लाउन के बारे में बात नहीं हुई भाई। क्लाउन है। देखो रिवील तो बहुत कुछ होने वाला है, अब ये सारा उसी के बेस पर मिलेगा। बट चीज़ें क्लियर है कि जब प्लस बन रहा है उसका प्रोटोटाइप का, तो समझ जाओ प्रोटोटाइप आने वाला है। नाइस, बढ़िया थी वीडियो यार। बट भाई मेरे को तो क्लाउन का वेट हो रहा है भाई, क्योंकि क्लाउन का वेट हो रहा है और बाकी सब चीज़ें तो रिवील ही हो गई है ऑलमोस्ट। बियर वगैरह का कुछ नहीं पता अभी। लेट्स सी। मस्त थी वीडियो भाई, मज़ा आ गया।